What's good, YouTube? It's your boy DJ LiftOFF with the JP Way, and you don't want to miss this flight. Today, we are going to be hopping right into this tutorial as we have a lot to cover. This will pretty much be an introduction to how you can scratch over a vocal to transition into a new song. I'm going to be showing you two different ways that I personally use to scratch over a vocal as I transition into a new song. So once I do that, I'll show you the process of how I pick my songs and which songs are actually good to use to scratch with as far as scratching over a vocal. Then I'll break down the scratch patterns as well. So let's hop right into it.
She's in love with who I am. Back in high school, I used to bust it to the dance. Now I hit the LBO with duffels in my hands.
It's been a long time coming.
She's in love with who I am. Back in high school, I used to bust it to the dance. Now I hit the LBO with duffels in my hands.
It's been a long time.
So those are the two scratch patterns that I'll be showing you all how to do by breaking it down later in the video. Also, stick around to the end of the video as I'll be doing one bonus scratch pattern that I'm not going to actually break down, but I just want you all to watch it just so you can understand one more type of way that you can use to scratch over a vocal. So now let's hop into the process of finding a good song to use that you can scratch over vocals with. I like to personally use vocals that are all green, which means it doesn't have a kick, it doesn't have a snare, it doesn't have anything else kind of interfering with the vocal. It's just pure vocal.
She's in love with who I am.
This am right here, this am is perfect because it's just all vocal. So if you're using Serato, anything that just has pure green will definitely be a good vocal that you can use. If you're using a different software, I'm sure they may have different color waves for the waveforms. So anything in general that doesn't have a kick or a snare is going to be best. Although you can actually use vocals that do have a snare or kick over it as well. If you do want to use something that has like some bass or a kick, I suggest just turning down the bass knob just a little bit to take out some of that low end. Otherwise, I recommend just using straight vocals. Now for these particular scratch patterns, you're gonna wanna find a song that has good vocals, like straight vocals on the fourth beat of every bar. So in general, if they have a vocal on the fourth beat of the bar, and by that I mean 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So as you can hear, dance, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, hands. This is an example of a good song that I can use. Now, it doesn't necessarily need to be on every single fourth beat. There more so just needs to be a good vocal on the fourth beat where you're actually going to be scratching. So if we think about this in terms of transitioning, right now I have a 4-bar intro on my left deck before the 1, which is where the song actually drops. I need on the 3rd bar in the 4th beat, right there has to be a good vocal. So this is in the case of a 4-bar intro. So what I mean by that is, let me count it out. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 4. So what I'm basically doing is, once I pass this vocal, I'm pulling it back and then I'm actually doing a scratch pattern for 1 bar right before the beat drops. So in a different case, if I was to have an 8-bar intro and I had a song playing on my other deck that I'm going to use to scratch out of on a vocal, if I have the 8-bar intro coming in on the 7th bar in the 4th beat, I will want to have a vocal like this again. So once it passes the vocal, I'm going to pull it back and then I'm going to do a scratch pattern for exactly 1 bar. And then I'm going to cut over to the other song, whichever way on the crossfader, you're going to cut over to the other song. So this is where mixing and phrasing really comes into play. So you should always know where your scratch vocal is so you can align it with the song that you're actually going to be transitioning into. If you're not super familiar with all of your music, definitely use the comment section. For example, right here, I have 45 seconds, 4 bars. This is on the actual song that I'm going to be scratching out of. And basically what this tells me is at 45 seconds, I should be starting my intro of 4 bars on my other deck, because I know at the end of those 4 bars on bar 3, beat 4, I know there's going to be a good scratch vocal there. Now we're going to go ahead and break down the 2 scratch patterns that I showed you before, starting with the first one.
She's in love with who I am. Back in high school, I used to bust it to the dance. Now I hit the LBO with duffels in my hands.
It's been a long time.
So I'm going to go ahead and rewind this back. And this is where we have bar 3. 3 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, so once you pass the the scratch vocal on number 4, beat number 4, all you're gonna do is pull that platter back. Your crossfader is gonna be open. Okay, so once you do that, the first thing you're gonna do is do one chirp scratch. It's gonna be a full chirp scratch. So you're pushing your platter forward and you're cutting the sound with the crossfader. So just like this. Then you're pulling your platter back and then opening the crossfader. So there is your chirp scratch. So far we would have 3 and 2 and 3 and 4. Catch the platter, crossfader is open, pull the crossfader back, one chirp scratch. Okay, then you're gonna let the platter go, catch it, pull it back with your crossfader open. Then you're gonna do one more chirp scratch, let the platter go, catch it once more, pull it back, and then lastly, you're gonna let the platter go. And right before you get to this one, your other song should be transitioning on their one. So this song should be dropping, and all you have to do is push your crossfader over and cut the song completely out that you were just using to scratch. 3 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Okay, that's that 1, 3 and 2 and 3. 3 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Okay, so that's going to be the first scratch pattern. Now the second scratch pattern is actually very, very similar. Same deal. 3 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Right, we're going to start with a chirp scratch on the 1 again. So we have a chirp scratch. Let the platter go, just like the previous one. Let the platter go, pull it back. But this time, instead of doing a chirp scratch, you're actually gonna do a scribble scratch first, and then you're gonna do a chirp scratch. So a scribble is gonna be 2 very quick baby scratches, or sometimes I like to do chirp scratches. More often than not, I actually do 2 quick chirp scratches. So you're gonna have this, pull it back, chirp scratch, let the platter go, catch it, pull it back. Now, like I said, you're gonna have a scribble scratch, or 2 baby scratches. Then you're gonna have 1 chirp scratch. And then once you get here, you're gonna let your platter go. As soon as you let it go, you're gonna catch it quickly, pull it back, then you're gonna let it go again. So in real time, it's gonna look like this. 3 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, then you're gonna let it go. So again, a little bit slower. 3 and 2 and 3 and 4. Catch it, pull it back, chirp scratch, let the platter go, catch it, pull it back, scribble, chirp, then you're gonna let the platter go, catch it, pull it back, and then cut the song off.
She's in love with who I am. Back in high school, I used to bust it to the dance. Now I hit the LPO with duffels in my hands.
It's been a long time.
Now I'm gonna show you one bonus scratch pattern that I'm actually not gonna go over in this video, but I just wanna show you one more way that you can use a scratch pattern.
She's in love with who I am. Back in high school, I used to bust it to the dance.
It's been a long time coming.
So there is the bonus scratch pattern. Definitely go ahead and try to slow the video down. Try to break it down yourself if you can. It's actually very similar to another scratch pattern of Miles Medina's. It might even be like really the same exact type of scratch pattern. So go ahead and check out that card that I have in the top of the video. You can learn that scratch pattern, then come back to this video and see exactly how it kind of fits in. But without further ado, that is the introduction to how you can scratch over a vocal to transition into another song. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and hit that like button. Please subscribe, turn on that notification bell. I definitely will have more videos dropping, so please hit that subscribe button. Stick around. I got more coming for you. I'm up out of here.